Okay, folks, we are going to go ahead and get started. Listen, I want to welcome everybody here tonight to the Apex Financial Overview Call. My name is James Ward. I'm going to be your host here tonight. Definitely excited to get this thing going. As we are going here, you might see me looking away. I have to actually allow people into this room, okay, because it is a private meeting. So if you see me looking away, that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. But tonight, you're going to be learning about a company that is literally brand new. We just launched a couple days ago. And when I say brand new, I mean brand new from the perspective of actually having an opportunity for you to get started with us. It's actually been in beta test, and we'll talk about that here in just a little bit. But what I want to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and share this PowerPoint presentation with you. And my objective here is to answer as many questions as you have about Apex. So whether you are brand new, just visiting for the very first time, or you're already a part of Apex, I believe this is going to be a really in-depth conversation to help you understand exactly what we do here. Now, I'll also tell you this, I might be going back and forth between the PowerPoint and actually the website as well towards the end of the presentation. So I'm going to ask for a little bit of participation. I might ask you, hey, can you guys actually see my screen? So right now, if you can give me a number one that you can see my PowerPoint presentation, that would be awesome. Just there in the chat, if you can give me a number one. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get this thing rolling. Again, you are here for the Apex overview call, and I want to start here tonight with something that I believe is the most important part of this presentation, and that is the company itself and what you're going to be learning about. I think we all know, especially in this industry today, there has been a lot of scams that have popped up, and I know that that word is not a great word to use. Maybe I could use a different word, but that's truly what they are, right? And if you look out there today, they've been very clever at the way that they've created these things. I'm excited here tonight because what you're going to learn about is something that is what I cover, the three R's, and that's registered, regulated, and real. And as we get toward the end of the presentation, I'm actually going to go to the website and show you where you can get proof of these things that I'm talking about. Instead of me just showing you a PowerPoint presentation and you taking my word for it, you're going to be able to go to the website on your own after this and check it out as well. But I want to talk just really quickly about what I mean about the three R's. Number one, this company is registered in the British Virgin Islands. Okay, so it is a real company. You can actually check it out. You can see the incorporation. Number two, it's regulated by the SEC by Schedule D. Now, what does that actually mean? Well, Schedule D actually gives companies the opportunity to raise capital. In this case, Apex is essentially a hedge fund. So they have the ability to raise capital inside the United States as an investment. And I know that that word is like taboo in this industry. You don't hear people talk about hedge funds or investments or anything like that. But what you're looking at today is actually that, right? It is an investment. It's a hedge fund that is registered with the SEC. I'm going to show you that documentation here in a little bit as well, because documentation beats conversation every time, right? So you're going to be able to see exactly that. Now, the last part is the real part. I mean, there have been some very, very clever people, in the world that have shown different ways that they are trading, doing all this different stuff. What you're going to see and what you're going to be able to see on your own is actually videos of this company trading. You're going to see the beta testing that we have, over 25 million in assets under management already just during the beta test process. And it's been a phenomenal time over the last year to get the system exactly where it's at. So you're going to be able to learn about all those things, but I want you to really get a grip of or an understanding of what is Apex. And this says welcome to your 90-day financial challenge. You'll understand what that means here in just a second, because we have a few different platforms that you can use. But I want you to think about this for a second. When you look out there today and you look at a typical hedge fund, or you look at some of the markets out there that allow the rich to get richer, I guess is the easiest way to say it, right? The elite financial institutions, they usually restrict people from getting involved, right? What Apex has done is they've really bridged the gap between the average investor and the elite financial people. And I've told the story many times of being in front of a hedge fund manager that when I asked him what was the minimum to get started with me, he told me not to worry about it, right? And I'm not gonna go through that whole story again, but to me, that was a real slap in the face. And when I finally got the answer from him, he was like, it was like $10 million. And I think most of us know that the average person, in fact, I mean, even some wealthy people can't get into that category. What Apex has done and what it is doing, it's created a hedge fund environment that allows you to participate in the upside of the market as an average investor without having to have, bukus of money to be able to be involved. Okay. So we're going to talk about that as we get going here but I want you to really understand, what this is all about and how it is possible. Okay. Apex, the bloodline of Apex is really AFT. Okay. That is our token, AFT. And our token, unlike other tokens out there, is a non-speculative token. Okay, so what we're showing you here tonight is not something that, we're going to tell you, hey, buy this token, it's going to go to the moon, you're going to be able to cash it out. Because the reality is, even though some of those opportunities may work, most of them are built around the people at the top being able to build it up, build that price up, dump it, and then everybody else being stuck with it, right? We're not involved in that game at all. Okay, Apex token is merely a medium for you to be able to participate inside of our fund without having the volatility of the market. You see, one AFT equals one USD dollar. Okay, so $1, and it does not fluctuate. So that does not go up, it does not go down. So you're not going to ever have to look at your portfolio and say, hey, what is AFT doing today? It has nothing to do with it. What you have the ability to do when you become a customer of Apex is you're actually purchasing AFT. So as I said, one AFT equals one USD. But once you purchase those tokens, the question is, okay, well, what is next? What is this thing all about? And we're going to get into that here in just a second and help you understand it. But before I even show you the packages and show you the opportunity to invest, I want to talk about market volatility for just a second. If any of y'all have been in the Bitcoin market or the cryptocurrency market for any amount of time, you have seen some huge upswings. You've also seen some huge downturns, right? Some huge corrections in the market. We've seen Bitcoin go up 5 times, I guess, in the last year. I mean, it's been an amazing run. But we've also seen it go from 20,000 all the way back down to 3,000, right? So when you're dealing with those type of swings, you're also dealing with the human emotion part of investing. And what Apex has done a phenomenal thing, in my opinion, is they take the emotion out of it. Because when we invest the money, we go into several different sectors, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that here in just a second. But what I want you to understand here is, as we're going into this and as you're understanding a little bit about what we do, I want you to imagine this for a second. Imagine an opportunity to have the upside potential of the market, but without ever looking at your account and seeing a down day. Right. That is the key component. It doesn't mean that we don't have down days as far as investing is concerned, but you as an Apex holder, you're not going to see the downturn on your account. You're never going to see a negative day inside of your account. So the reason why I'm telling you that is, from an emotional standpoint, you have to understand how important that truly is for the normal average day, everyday investor. Most people are emotional when they start trading. That's why it's very difficult to do it on their own, even if they're managing it, right? There's a lot of opportunities out there right now that you can hire an AI bot or whatever to do it for you. You still have that emotion involved. Apex takes that away because you don't have to deal with that market volatility. What I think you're looking at, let me rephrase that. What I know you're looking at here today is an absolute revolution. You're looking at a company that is, as I said, bridging the gap between the average, ordinary, everyday investor and giving you the chance to participate in the types of investments that have only been privy to those elite, those at the very financial tops. And what you're going to be able to see some of these returns and see exactly what we've been able to do. But folks, what I'm telling you here is this is something that is so revolutionary, not only to the investment world, but also when you talk about direct selling or affiliate marketing. If you look out there today, as far as I know, I don't know another company out there, especially that's located anywhere in this hemisphere, that is regulated, registered, and real. Right? We see a lot of them pop up, but very few are actually showing the trading that they're doing. Very few are actually showing, here's our incorporation. Here are the real people behind it. You're not getting that. That is exactly what you get inside of Apex. And we are going to be setting the standard as we go forward in this industry that everyone's going to have to meet if they want to be able to compete with us. Now, as I already told you, Apex, even though we just launched a couple days ago to the public, this company has been in beta test for the last 12 months. And it's been a phenomenal 12 months, to say the least, right? I mean, we don't talk about the specific returns that we had inside of the beta test, but I will tell you this. There is a video on our YouTube channel. You can probably check out whoever sent you here today to learn more about it. I actually interviewed the head of our velocity trading, which is one key component of what we do inside of this platform. We actually aggregate our assets in many different areas inside of Apex, but high velocity trading is our number one investment that we deal with. So if you want to learn more about that, you can check that on the YouTube page, and also you can check us out on Telegram as well. And I'll give you some of that information here at the end. But what we've been able to see inside of this beta test is an opportunity for us to continually improve the algo, right? The algorithm that goes into the AI bot, the AI trading. It is solely based on data, and I'm not going to get too deep into that because I don't want to bore you too much, and I'm not the financial brains behind it. I know enough just to be a little bit deadly when it comes to this, but here's what I do know. The test has been proven for the last year. It's been a phenomenal run, and I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like for you here in just a second. One key thing that you need to understand about Apex that is very different from every other company out there as well is they do not make money unless you make money. You heard that correctly, okay? What we're going to be talking about here today is what I call a win-win-win. And why is it a win-win-win? Well, you've got the investor that's definitely going to win, right? You have the company that's only going to win if the investor wins. And then many of you out there may want to become an affiliate, which is completely optional. And we're going to talk about that here at the end. You're going to have the opportunity to win as well by referring other people. And as the people you refer have success, you're going to have success as well. So we'll get into all that here in just a second, but just know it's completely free to get started with us here. And as I said, we're in this together. So let's talk about the different strategies that we have inside of Apex. So if you're just brand new here, you can understand what your opportunity is for investments. Number one, we have three different strategies that we implement inside of this platform. We're going to go through each one of them, just a brief detail so you have an understanding of it. But I want you to better understand what the mechanisms behind what we do are, okay? Number one, we've already talked about the high velocity trading, and a good portion of the funds that come into Apex go into that, okay? Anywhere between 50 to 60% of the money that comes into Apex will go into that high velocity trading. But that's only one thing that we do. There's also emerging asset trading, commodity markets. When we talk about commodities, that could be gold, that could be silver, that could be energy. We got e-commerce, we got factoring, we got debt instruments, a lot of things that most of us, the normal people, don't understand, right? But if you have any financial background, you probably understand the type of things that I'm talking about when it comes to all these different platforms, the derivatives, all the things that are included. So as Apex stakeholder, you're going to be able to participate in this. So as you guys remember, I said that the AFT, our token, is the backbone of what we do, right? When you come in and you purchase AFT, at that point in time, you then get to decide, well, what strategy do I want to implement that Apex has? And it's going to depend on a couple things, all right? It's going to depend on your liquidity. It's going to depend on what you're really trying to achieve with your money and what type of risk you would like to have inside of your portfolio, okay? So let's go ahead and let's get started in here. And I know it might be strange that I'm sitting here talking about rates of returns. I'm using the word investment, all these things, because I know those are like unheard of terms. But remember, since we are registered with the SEC, I can absolutely be out in front of this. I can be excited about it. I can share it with you with no problem using the technical terms, the terms that we should be using anyway, and be very safe in order to do that. So the very first platform and strategy that we have here is called the Apex Rise, okay? This is our short-term solution to be able to get started with Apex. The minimum amount of AFT to get started with this is 500 AFT, which equals basically $500. Not basically, it does equal that, right? $1 equals one AFT. Now, you can see that here that it is a 90-day lockup. Now, what does that mean? 90-day lockup means this. Let's just assume for a second that you put $1,000 into our Apex Rise. So for 90 days, you would receive a rate of return 5 days a week. So 5 days a week, whatever the rate of return is, you're going to receive it. Now, what you're looking at here is the estimated rate of return has been 0.53%. That is a 90-day average that you're looking at. So this slide will change over time. Right now, you're looking at 0.53 on a 90-day average that we've been doing 5 days a week. So if you can imagine putting $1,000 in and 5 days a week earning 0.53% every single day, 5 days a week, that's what you're going to get with this platform. Now, at the end of the 90 days, you will have received that 0.53% 5 days a week. But at the end of the 90 days, you're also going to get your $1,000 back, right? Or your 1,000 AFT is actually what you're going to receive. Now, at that point in time, you can withdraw it. You can do anything you want. And the same thing with the returns. So these daily returns that I'm talking about, you can withdraw these. You can take Bitcoin, you can take Ethereum, you can take Litecoin, you can take Tron. There's many different avenues that you have to be able to withdraw your money and also to be able to purchase AFT as well. Okay, so there's different currencies that you can participate in if you want to purchase the AFT and also to be able to withdraw them. Now, the next platform that we want to talk about here is the Apex Scale. Now, the scale is kind of the middle of the road. Okay, the lockup period for the scale is going to be 180 days. That's the lockup period. So basically, we're talking about 6 months is really excuse me, really what 180 days is, right? The average rate of return, at least the 90-day average rate of return, has been 0.66%. Again, that's 5 days a week. Now, the minimum to get started with this one is going to be 2,000 AFT. In other words, $2,000. Okay. Now, keep something in mind. This is going to be for someone that might be a little bit more sophisticated, might have a little bit more money, and also don't have any type of liquidity issues. They don't need that. They don't need their principal back immediately. You know, the 90-day platform would be for someone in that category. This is the middle of the road. 6 months still, I mean, if you are a legitimate investor, that's a very short time to actually lock up your funds. But at the same time, remember, you're going to be getting those payments every single day, 5 days a week, that you can withdraw in any currency you would like. Now, I want to remind you of something, okay? This is a legitimate investment. So even though you will see some down days, as far as we will see some down days, meaning that you might look at your portfolio and it might pay 0%, right? One day it could happen, because if there's a down day, that is the potential to happen, but it can go up as well. So it is a fluctuating. I'm showing you this 0.66 because that has been the average over the last 90 days. Now, the last portfolio I want to talk about here is called the SOAR. This is kind of our flagship. This is a higher ticket for some of you out there. At the same time, you know, we have people that are already putting six figures into this, so it's not that high of a ticket if you really look at it. But the minimum to get started with the SOAR platform is going to be 5,000 AFT, which again is $5,000. Okay, now this is going to pay you 5 days a week, and you can see the average rate of return has been 0.81%. That's been the daily rate of return for the last 90 days on average, 5 days a week. Again, you can take that every single day in whatever currency you want, and your money is going to be locked up for 360 days. At the end of 360 days, you get your AFT back that you can withdraw, you can restake, you can do whatever you want with it. It is your money. Okay. Now, as we go on here, I want to talk about the win-win, and then we'll get to the win-win-win a little bit later here in just a second. But I talked about that win-win. Apex as a company is going to charge a 30% performance fee. What does that mean? Well, let's just say that you had $1,000 profit on your portfolio. Apex would go in there and they're going to charge a $300 management fee, right? Performance fee for doing that. That might seem high, but if you look at hedge funds out there, there's some of them that charge up to 50%, right? So even though it does seem high, at the same time, with these type of rate of returns that you're seeing, you can see that it is a phenomenal opportunity for you to be able to earn. Now, what that means is this: if there's no money, right? If there's no performance, if there's no upside for the investor, then Apex does not make any money. They only make money when you make money. Now, I'm not going to go through every single one of these numbers. You guys can kind of take a look at it. It's just showing a stake amount of 5,000 on each one of the portfolios. It's just looking at average rate of return. You can see our rate of returns have actually been a little bit higher. We went a little bit lower on these examples. You see the total return, and then at the end of the duration, how much money you would have on 5,000. And you can see the Apex fee and then what you net. Okay, so you guys can see all that. I'm not going to go through all that with you. And just note that these are totally hypothetical examples. We've actually tracked a little bit higher than this, but it could be lower than that as well. Okay. So let's get going here and let's talk about our affiliate platform. Now, before we even get into this, I want to tell you something. If you're here tonight, you have no interest in sharing this with other people, you're just here as an investor, you know, this might be the time that you want to take off, because we're going to be talking about the opportunity that Apex gives its stakeholders to refer other people and be able to earn income. Okay, it has an amazing affiliate platform that is very, very powerful. So if you're here and you think that you might know others that would like to invest, then this is a part that you want to stay into, because even if you're not a network marketer, a direct seller, or affiliate marketer, I can assure you, when you see the rate of returns and you see the process in which we have, you're going to want to refer people, and why not be able to earn by referring, right? So let's get into this. And what we're talking about here is the 90-day challenge. We'll get into more of that. I want to remind you again, this is a completely optional platform. Okay. You do not need to be an affiliate to earn inside of Apex. You need to be a stakeholder, right? This is more about the investment than it is the affiliate platform. But what I can tell you is this affiliate platform is hot, right? It gives you the opportunity to be able to earn some amazing instant commission and also be able to participate in the daily performance fee. So we're going to go through this right now. It's not going to take much time. I want to talk just really quickly about the benefits of becoming an affiliate. Number one, it is absolutely free to join. Okay. Someone can join today. They don't even have to be a stakeholder and they can be an affiliate. That means that they can refer others and that they can earn commissions today if they choose to. There's no monthly fees, right? We're not going to be sending you a product every month. There's no auto ship or anything like that that you have to pay. There's no shipping of products or inventory, which is obviously always a good thing. You have a full business center that you're going to be able to have access to in your back office. You will have a replicated marketing system that you can send out to people to learn about the opportunity. We have some amazing sales contests. We'll talk about those here in just a second. This is a global business, right? You can do business pretty much in any country as long as they're not on what would be considered a terrorist list or a blacklisted country. We don't want to do business with them. Okay, so just know that there are two offices currently. We have an office in Cyprus and Dubai, and we obviously, in my opinion, have the best of the best when it comes to our customer support. And you'll learn that as you get in here and you start speaking to them. Okay. So let's talk about this for a second. Our commissions are what we call instant pay. As soon as you refer someone and they buy AFT, they buy our token, there's an instant commission that is created. You can withdraw that commission instantly the day that it happens. Okay. So if you made a sale right this very second and you went in there and made a withdrawal, as long as it's at a certain amount of time, we do withdrawals once a day. So you would be able to get paid on that commission. Okay. So it will instantly hit your account. And we do pay these every single day. You can take your commissions in Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, Tron. There's several different ways that you can accept your withdrawals. So just know that that is an instant pay. Now, let's get into this, okay? When someone comes in and they purchase AFT, Apex is going to take 10% of whatever is put into that, and they're going to pay it on a 20 level unilevel, okay? 20 levels deep on a unilevel. So let me give you an example. Someone comes in and they put $10,000 into Apex, okay? So they buy $10,000 or 10,000 AFT. What Apex is going to do, they're going to take 10%. So they're going to take $1,000 and they're going to put this into the unilevel that is split between 20 different levels. I'm not going to go through every one of these percentages. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not going to go through every one of these percentages because you guys can check these out on your own, right? You can see them. So I'm not going to do that. But here's what I want you to understand the power of, okay? Number one, 20 levels deep, man, that is deep, right? So you can build as wide as you want. And truly, very, very few people will get much deeper than 20 levels. So you have an opportunity just to help others around you be able to earn, which is absolutely awesome. Now, some of you may be looking at this and you might be going, well, James, man, there are a lot of other companies out there that are paying a lot more than 10% out on the unilevel. Why is that? I want you to do some simple math with me, okay? Let's just say that someone puts in $1,000 and many other companies out there, let's say that they're paying 30 or 40%. Let's just use 30% because it's an easy number and I've already done the math, so I'm cheating a little bit, okay? Someone puts in $1,000 and let's say a company does pay out 30% to the affiliate, okay? So now the investor only has 700 of that $1,000 that is invested. Do you realize just in order to get the investor back to even, the company has to do 42%? 42% just to get them back to even, right? So when you see these companies out there that are paying these huge affiliate commissions on the front end, you really need to be aware, especially if there's a lockup period. Now, if there's not a lockup period, sometimes that's okay. But if there's a lockup period or anything like that, you really need to evaluate it because it's going to take a long time just to get someone back to even. So you got to start asking the question is, hey, is this real? So in our case, 10% is perfect. It allows 90% to go into the trading, which is the investor is number one, right? We already told you, we want the people that are putting the money in to make sure that they get the value that they want. So as you can see, 20 levels deep here, but let's continue, okay? As I said, Apex is going to charge a 30% performance fee every single day, okay? So every single day that there is a performance and there's an upside to it, Apex is going to charge 30%. Okay. And of that 30%, here's where it gets crazy. Of that 30%, 90% of that is going to get paid back out to our affiliates. Again, 20 levels deep. So look at this. Okay. So, oh, actually, let me get to it right here. Let's look at it right here. So what we're looking at is this. Let's just say, for example, someone has, I don't know, someone has $100,000 in an account, and let's say that they made $1,000 today. These are all high hypothetical numbers. I'm just doing easy math. Okay. Someone put 100,000 in, they bought 100,000 AFT. Their account grew by 1,000 AFT today. What Apex is going to do is they're going to go in there, they're going to take 30% of that. So of that 1,000, the investor would get 700 of that, right? 700 of it. The 300 that is left is going to be split by 20 levels, okay? 20, or I'm sorry, 90% of that 300, so $270, I'm sorry about that, would be split between the 20 levels. Now you look at this, okay? Just on your first level, it is 25% that you're going to get paid. So I want you to think about this for a second. Apex is literally giving you the opportunity to essentially be like a hedge fund manager. You're literally going to be collecting fees and earning from the performance of people that you refer inside of Apex. Remember, when I said this is a win-win-win, you have the investor that's going to win. You have the company that's going to win when the investor wins. And you as an affiliate are going to win when you refer people. And you're also going to win when the people that you refer have performance inside of their portfolios. Folks, when you look at residual income and you look at direct selling, what is it usually derived from? It's usually derived from monthly fees, right? People who are paying that auto ship, so 100, 200, 500, whatever it is every single month, that is how the residual income usually works. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, right? But this is a totally different animal. This is a way to look at it and say, look, the more assets that I collect, the more assets under management that I get 20 levels deep, not just me, but my entire team 20 levels deep, as our assets grow up and as the performance happens inside of Apex, I'm going to be able to collect funds as if I'm the manager. Folks, you have to understand how powerful this is. And we have a calculator that we're adding to our website that's going to show you exactly how powerful it is. But I'm telling you, when you start doing the math on this, it gets totally insane. Now, I mentioned the monthly contest. We will be announcing a monthly contest. Tomorrow's April. So we will be having a monthly contest coming out here very quickly that you can learn about, that you're going to be able to participate in. And when it comes to rewards and stuff like that, we're not going to be messing around. There'll be some amazing prizes and things like that. And as we grow and as we get bigger, those prizes will get bigger, right? So just know, we're not going to start off with a car, probably month number one, but what you will definitely see some amazing gifts and amazing prizes for those who are out there having success, which is always, always a great incentive to get going. So here's the deal. There's a couple things that you might have on the top of your head that I really want to make sure you understand. The first question you might be asking is, well, how can Apex pay out 90%, right? Well, remember, we only make money as the performance goes up. We're only paying 5 days a week as well. So there is a portion of the upside of those funds that we're going to be able to collect, right? Let's just be transparent here and you guys understand that. On the weekends, obviously Apex, there's still trading going on. Apex is going to be able to collect that. In addition to that, they get 10% of the performance fee of the, 10% of the 90 of the 100% will go to Apex as well. So they can afford to do that. In addition to that, you got to remember, we only have a certain limit of availability when it comes to AFT. There's only 1 billion AFT out there in the entire world. So when you're looking at companies out there and you're trying to decide, hey, is this a real company? Is it a fake company? You got to start asking the questions, is there the law of diminishing returns where a company is just like saying, hey, we'll take $1 trillion if we get it? We can't do that inside of Apex. There is a limit to what we can do. So as a company, we will reevaluate things at 250 million under management, and then again at 500 million under management, and make a decision on what we are going to do. There's not an unlimited amount of AFT. There's not an unlimited amount of space here. That creates some scarcity in the market, number one, but you as an investor, you as an affiliate have to understand that's what makes this very real, right? So what I want to do right now, before we get off here, I'm gonna stop sharing for just a second that screen, and I want to take you to our website. And the reason why I want to do that, and I know that you can do this on your own, but number one, I want to show you our website. I think it's pretty cool. But before I even get into it, give me a number 7. If you can see my website right now where it says Apex Financial App with that cool flash, everything bouncing around. If you can see that, give me a number 7. That would help me. Awesome. Okay. So here we are. And here's what I want to do. I'm not going to spend any time on this website other than one thing. I'm going to scroll to the very, very bottom of this website because what I want to show you here is I want to show you our due diligence page. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and click due diligence page and security right here. And the reason why I'm going to share this with you is because if you remember, I started off with the three R's. I started off with real, regulated, and registered, right? I almost forgot the other R. I'm going to be honest with you, but I've got them. I got them up here. So what you're looking at on this due diligence and security page is number one, it's going to talk about the security. We do have two-factor authentication that you can go through. Right here on this right here, this is the live beta testing proof. If you watch this video, which I'm not going to click it, it's only 6 minutes long, folks. I mean, it's worth your time to watch it. What you're going to see is there's over 25 million in assets just on this beta test. You're going to see actual trades. You're going to see profit and losses. You're going to see us logging into multiple accounts. I mean, literally, you're going to be able to see it with your own eyes, right? And this will be happening multiple times. So as we get going here, we will actually have the ability at some point to log into a Binance account on one of these calls and show people exactly what we're doing. And you can't get any more proof than that, right? As you can see, we are registered in the British Virgin Islands. This is a screenshot of the incorporation paperwork. You can see right there, Apex Financial Institute, Private Limited. You can see territory of the Virgin Islands. I'm not going to go through all this. You can check it out. Here's a very, very key component. We are SEC regulated, right? We have registered with the SEC under Schedule D 506C. It's important to understand if you don't know anything about Schedule D, 506C, there are limitations to Schedule Ds, okay? If you've ever registered for a Schedule D, sometimes they say, hey, you're only limited to a certain amount of money by US citizens. With us, well, since it is a 506C, we have unlimited ability to raise capital inside the US. Now, why is this important? Well, number one, I'm in the US. That's why it's important. Number two, you need to make sure if you are in the United States, you need to be an accredited investor in order to be able to participate. Now, what that means is this. You either have to have income of 200,000 or 300,000 if you're filing jointly, 200,000 single, or a net worth of $1 million. We will be doing KYC at the time of withdrawals. Now, some of you are going to be like, well, man, I don't like that. Well, guess what? There are a ton of scams out there that you can participate in that will never take any of your information. But if you want to participate in something that's real, something that's going to be here long term, something that you can feel and you know, wow, these guys are legit, then this is it, right? So I know it's an extra hoop that people have to jump through, but man, people focus on what you focus on. I'm focusing on the 0.53 or the 0.66 or the 0.81 paid 5 days a week. You don't get access to these type of returns in a normal setting, right? We're giving you access to essentially be part of a hedge fund that you just will not have the possibility to do before. So listen, I didn't even want to keep you this long. I kept you probably even 10 more minutes than what I wanted to. But I want to say thank you so much for taking the time to come out here tonight. I hope you learned a lot about Apex. We'll be doing these several times a week where you can invite your people out to come and learn about Apex. They'll get better and better. I'll be honest with you. This is only like the second time I've done this presentation. So I will get better for you as we get going. I'll do my best to present for you guys and show your prospects exactly what they need to understand. So if you're here tonight and you want to get started, all you have to do is get back with the person that you invited, get their link, come and be part of this. It's absolutely free to sign up. You can sign up tonight for completely free. You can get in there and get your AFT and stake and start earning daily, 5 days a week. So folks, thank you so much for taking the time to come out. I hope you have a great evening. I hope this was a good presentation for you. And if it's the morning where you're at or afternoon, wherever it is, have a great morning, afternoon, or evening. Again, thank you for taking the time to come out. Bye-bye.